What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and in today's WWE news video, there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to talk about, including the latest on the real reason why Melina's return, true return, never took place, the reason on why Drew McIntyre missed out on Raw this past week, and also another NXT superstar moving to the main roster, and also the latest on new recruits to the Performance Center. So let's talk about which superstar that is. And crazy enough, it's actually Mansoor, of all people. So shout out to Sanchez Taylor from Wrestle Talk. Another NXT star may have been quietly moved to the main roster following the latest WWE main event tapings. With the recent success of Damian Priest's Raw debut this week, we could see another NXT star called up. Wrestling Inc. is reporting that 205 Live's Mansoor will feature on this week's episode of Main Event after wrestling Drew Gulak at the taping before Raw. Mansoor has wrestled in NXT since 2018. He made a name for himself by competing at the previous Saudi Arabia events, winning the Super Showdown 2019 Battle Royal. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I believe he eliminated Elias, if I remember right. Mansoor was also praised for his efforts against main roster mainstays Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro during their respective Saudi singles matches. In recent months, Mansoor has been rising through the 205 Live ranks, defeating the likes of Raul Mendoza and Brian Kendrick. Damian Priest was recently called up to the main roster, making his WWE debut at the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. Currently a lot allies with Bad Bunny, Priest is picking up momentum on the road to WrestleMania. WWE has also confirmed that Rhea Ripley is heading to Raw after being the runner-up in the Women's Royal Rumble. Yeah, so Mansoor coming up to the main roster, I think that might be too soon, because don't get me wrong, he has climbed up into the ranks of the 205 Live roster, but there's no point in him coming up to the main roster this early. Yes, he has been in WWE for a few years now. It's way too soon, because if Mansoor gets called up too early, odds are he could get buried just like that. Somebody like I don't know, possibly like maybe Roman Reigns, or maybe even Seth Rollins, or even also, which is a possibility, The Miz, depending on which brand he goes to, he could get buried by those superstars, which, honestly, that, again, is just way too soon. I really don't see it happening. If it does happen, it's gonna go south really quickly. But as far as Rhea Ripley going over to Raw, awesome choice. I think that was the best choice for Rhea, given the fact that she still has to finish her rivalry with Charlotte Flair, and if she finishes that up, then maybe, just maybe, maybe things will get better between them, respect, and maybe they'll become a tag team. I know that Charlotte is already a tag team with Raw Women's Champion Asuka, but again, I don't know. But again, it's just way too soon. I think Mansoor going over to Raw, it is just way too soon in my personal opinion. So yeah. My thoughts, again, way too soon. I feel like as if Mansoor could just get buried like really bad, really quickly. So and he'll probably end up just working like he'll end up just working like main event or something like that, which I'm not even gonna say anything about that. But with that being said, we have a grand total of over 30. From what I understand, there are 30 new recruits to the Performance Center who are going to be working with WWE. And here are the names. We have Bronson Rex Steiner, I believe, which happens to be the son of Rick Steiner. Kira Magnan Forster, or I guess former TNA star Taya Valkyrie. Sean Ricker, also known as TNA star Eli Drake or LA Knight. If you guys did not, or if you guys didn't watch Takeover Vengeance Day, you will know that LA Knight is a part of NXT, which honestly is incredible. A lot of people wanted to see Eli Drake, in TNA, and he's finally here. Angela Arnold, or AQA for short. Parker Bordeaux, Anthony Henry, Chance Barrow, or Harlem Bravado. Teresa Serrano, or Zoe Stark, who we saw on NXT last night. Christian Bringham. Priscilla Kelly, who is also known, I think had a different name or something like that. Drew Casper, Brianna Coda, or Cora Jade. Christian Hubble, Matrick Belton, Cameron Clay, Joe Areola, Taylor Grotto, and Carissa Rivera. And also, there was another set of stars who got called, who got recruited as well. Hang on. Oh, Gigi Dolan was Priscilla Kelly's new name. The new additions are Jennifer Mitchell, Cantu Iglesias, who is a Mexican powerlifter, which is pretty cool. Drew Casper, collegiate wrestler with a 30-0 record and ranked number 1 in NCAA. And Avery Taylor, who had wrestled for Evolve, Shine, and appeared on NXT TV in the September 2020 Battle Royal. Oh yeah, I remember that. I didn't know Avery was there, but yeah, those are just some of the names. Honestly, for Taya Valkyrie, I'm gonna say it right now. I feel like she should have been called up to the main roster right off the bat with her husband John Morrison, because if you guys remember when they were in TNA, and I've heard the stories when they were both in TNA, she was a very dominant women's champion, very dominant. Excuse me. But yeah, I think Taya Valkyrie should have been called up to the main roster, but it is what it is, and honestly, I think that's great. I think that's fucking awesome that we're getting former TNA stars Taya Valkyrie and Eli Drake into NXT, because they could really shake things up they could take NXT to heights never seen before. Kind of similar to what the Undisputed Era did, which honestly is incredible. Which honestly they did great. But after what happened last night, I think it's safe to say that the UE is done. The UE is done. Obviously now Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, they're out. They are out of the UE, which leaves both Adam Cole and Bobby Fish. But with Bobby Fish injured, I think he may end up leaving the UE after what transpired. So we shall see. We shall see. But now we move on to What Culture. So the reason Drew McIntyre missed out on this week's Raw. Shoutouts to Andy Murray for this article. Former WWE Champion Drew McIntyre was backstage at this week's episode of Raw. Reports PW Insider's Mike Johnson reports. Though he was in the building, it seems WWE officials decided against putting the Scot on the show, which left fans scratching their heads as 3 hours passed without an appearance from the 35-year-old. McIntyre lost the WWE title to The Miz at Elimination Chamber this past Sunday. The grand heist went down after Drew had triumphed in a grueling chamber match, pinning AJ Styles for the decisive fall before he was attacked by Bobby Lashley. Lashley softens McIntyre up for Miz to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, with the Hurt Businessman now challenging for the title next week. As screwy as the situation was, there was no immediate follow-up from the party. I can't. There's another word here. I can't even pronounce it. Beleaguered party. I probably just butchered that, but yeah. Dave Meltzer speculated on yesterday's episode of Wrestling Observer Radio that realistically WWE would have needed to have Drew destroy Miz on Raw, and perhaps they didn't want to do that so quickly. The event of the Elimination Chamber left McIntyre's immediate direction up in the air. Sheamus talked up facing his old friend one-on-one during Raw, though Drew immediately re-entering the WWE title hunt isn't out of the question either. So this really doesn't surprise me, given the fact that McIntyre was WWE champion for literally almost a year, discounting his loss to Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell. Despite that, almost a year. That's incredible. That is incredible. I did not think that a guy like Drew McIntyre, and I've been a big fan of Drew for years. You know, even when he left WWE, when he got fired, I had a feeling that he would come back at some point, and he did. When he got called back, when he was in NXT going up against the best of the best. I'm talking. Excuse me. I'm talking Robert Roode. I'm talking Adam Cole. I'm talking Roderick Strong. Andrade. It's. I guess in a way it was kind of a blessing that McIntyre came back to WWE, because he came back solely to win the WWE Championship, and he did that. He did that by winning last year's Royal Rumble, entering the match at number 16, I believe. I believe it was number 16. And it's kind of funny because in 2019 he entered that match at number 16 and got eliminated. Last year, that wasn't the case. He eliminated Roman Reigns to win the match, go to WrestleMania, beat Brock Lesnar, and became WWE Champion. Which honestly was an incredible match for him. Incredible victory. He earned it. After nearly 20 years, he earned it. But for him not to be on Raw for this particular reason, I can't say that I'm surprised, because if they were to have McIntyre attack Miz right away, then the whole idea, if you will, the whole idea of having Miz defend the title against Bobby Lashley would have been for nothing, and we would have had potentially a fatal four-way, which would be McIntyre, Sheamus, Lashley, and Miz. Because if you guys don't know, Sheamus and McIntyre are already in a rivalry of their own. Miz is the WWE champion, and he's in I guess his own rivalry, so to speak, with Lashley. With those four intertwining, that match could happen. But again, I feel like as if that match, we need that. I feel like we need that match, because this way not only will McIntyre be able to end his rivalry with Sheamus, but he could potentially once again become WWE champion. But that brings me to the question of the day. Do you think Bobby Lashley will become WWE champion next week on Raw? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. But with that being said, the real reason Melina did not return to WWE. Shoutouts to Andy Murray. So if you guys remember, she was a part of Raw Legends Night earlier this. I think it was earlier this year, and I mentioned as well last September I had done videos on the channel about potentially seeing Melina potentially return to WWE. But here's the reason why. So once again, shoutouts to Andy Murray for this article. Former WWE star Melina has told WrestleTalk that a knee issue prevented her from returning to the promotion last year. PW Insider reported in September 2020 that the former Women's and Divas Champion was on her way back to WWE, having agreed on terms with Vince McMahon and company. She was expected to return to TV within a week, which didn't happen. Melina told WrestleTalk the following, said, quote, "It was talks of a return. Talks of seeing if it was possible and all that stuff. Everyone's made such a big deal out of it. I was in talks with WWE, but I never signed a contract. There was nothing going on. Just, hey, would you consider, would you be open?" I'm like, hell yeah. Well, it turned out I have a bad knee and I can't wrestle. She went on stating that while there's no guarantee WWE would have ended up signing her, even without her bad knee. Melina was quick to shoot down the initial reports when they emerged last September. When they emerged last September. In December, former TNA personality John Fairplay told PW Torch that his friend Robert Stone wanted to bring Melina to NXT as a managerial client, though she needed surgery. Melina's last WWE appearance came to Raw Legends Night on January 4th. For now, it looks like this is unlikely to change. Okay, so obviously we all know when it comes to WWE, injuries can happen at any time. Some would say that it could be part of a storyline or anything like that. But no matter the case, the injuries can happen at any time. Look at what happened with Triple H. He had to have surgery twice on both of his quads, one surgery each. I remember Edge having to have triple fusion neck surgery in 2011. From 2011 to 2020. Yeah, 2020. He was out for 9 years. Daniel Bryan had the exact same thing, a neck injury. Paige was the exact same way. Rey Mysterio having surgery 5 times in his left knee, or like more than 5 actually. John Cena having a pectoral injury. Having a giant bump on his elbow. If you guys remember that from 2013. Yeah, he had that, which explained why he dropped the title to Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam that night. But yeah, again, injuries can happen at any time, and this is one of them. And I mean, the reason for that injury, is a multitude of reasons. It could have been from training. It could have been from hitting the gym. Anything can happen. So, shoutouts to Melina. If she does come back to WWE, definitely NXT. Definitely NXT. I feel like if maybe she can be like a, I don't know. I guess sort of like a manager, so to speak. Maybe a backstage producer. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. But if she does come back, I think it would be incredible. She could really help elevate the women's division to heights never seen before. So that could be interesting. But guys, that is gonna do it for for this video. Again, make sure you guys answer the question of the day as to whether or not Bobby Lashley is ready to become WWE Champion come this coming Monday on Raw. Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more WWE news videos which gets posted every Thursday, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, because in 2021 I will be doing fan mail. So if you guys, I know we're still under a pandemic slightly, but if you guys want to send fan mail, my address will be in the description below as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash signing out.